Okay, so here we see an amplifier with a gain A, and it has a positive supply pin and a negative supply pin. It has two inputs, positive input and the negative input, and it has an output. To the negative input, we have an externally applied signal source labeled as Vs, and to the positive input, we basically have the output directly connected to it. So essentially, there is a direct output connection back to the positive input pin of the of the amplifier. Now we want to analyze the expression of V out divided by Vs, that is the transfer function. This is called as transfer function, okay, which is the ratio of output voltage divided by the input voltage. So we know that uh, for an difference amplifier, this is a difference amplifier or the operational amplifier, there is a term VID, which is the difference between the two inputs, V1 minus V2. That is, V1 is the negative input and the V2 is input applied to the positive pin. So that's what I said, to the positive and the negative pin, we have two inputs. So to the positive input, we label it as a V plus. Input applied to the negative pin, we label it as a V minus. So we can say here, this is the V plus minus V minus. Okay, that's the difference. So this circuit can be represented in terms of a block diagram like this, where this is the block diagram of a feedback system. This is the feedback system, and here is also a feedback. Now we say that since the output is connected to the positive pin of the amplifier, we call it as a positive feedback circuit, a circuit involving positive feedback. So how we can analyze in terms of a block diagram? So you have an externally applied input signal Vs, then you have a gain block A. From input to output, this is called as a forward path, forward path. And the forward path output to input V out divided by Vs will be the gain. This is the transfer function for a forward path. Okay. But now we are having the output feedback to the input through this another circuit block called as feedback circuit. Here the beta is called as a feedback circuit gain, which is equal to 1 because we are feeding right here all the output back to the positive input. So we don't have any special network in between to create a feedback circuit. So we say that beta equal to 1. Since we have now beta equal to 1, the input to the feedback circuit, which is right here, is your VO, and the output of the feedback circuit is feedback voltage, which is equal to VO because the gain of this block is equal to 1. Is this voltage is subsequently getting mixed with the Vs, creating the VID. Okay, so VID, as we can see, that is the difference between the two voltages. So we will write here now. Here is the reverse path, reverse path, because now we have a feedback in the circuit. Therefore, we now write the following expression. So we say that V out equal to A times VID. A times VID. So VID is now difference between Vs minus Vf. V out is equal to Vf now. And therefore, V out is equal to A times Vs minus V out. We can use these two equations to write this equation. Then we further simplify to get V out equal to A times Vs minus A times V out. And again, V out taking this term to the left side, V out plus A V out is equal to A times Vs. Finally, we say that A is V out is taken common. V out in bracket 1 plus A equal to A plus Vs. Now we write this equation by taking the ratio of V out divided by Vs, which is equal to A over 1 plus A. And if the A is very greater than 1, which is the gain of the amplifier, V out divided by Vs is approximately equal to 1. So this is the example of the positive feedback system. And will what kind of feedback it is? So it is basically a positive feedback, but there are four types of feedback based on whether we sense the voltage or current and whether we add to the input circuitry voltage or current. So here we are saying sensing the voltage, and we are taking that voltage, mixing it with the input source Vs. So obviously here also we are actually adding that voltage, output voltage in series, or mixing that output voltage in series with the Vs. Therefore, it is called as voltage series feedback. It is also called as series feedback. We call it as a series because we are sensing the voltage at the output, which is series method of sensing. And we are actually uh, mixing that voltage in series with the input voltage. That's why we call it as a series. And this is positive feedback system. So hope you found this video useful. If you did so, share with others. And if you like it, click the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more informative videos like this. We have a complete playlist on this called as circuit analysis and design. Refer to that. So till then, wish you happy learning.